Hey team, Upstate Prepper here. Just take a minute and if you would, please like the page, subscribe, share, and do the same with all other prepper videos out there. We need to have the largest team for the largest exposure as possible. Today's Sunday, March 17th. Today I want to talk to you real quick about the state of affairs in the world today. We have in Venezuela the dictator Maduro, socialist, communist, and lots of trouble down there. Apparently the good old United States of America has determined that we are not overly happy with him being in control of that country anymore. We're backing the opposition party. Maduro is being backed by both Russia and China. They have extreme famine going on, which is really the result of socialism in any country that's ever tried it. They have extreme famine. People are killing themselves for a gallon of water, a little bit of food, a pair of shoes. It's absolutely crazy over there. There's rioting in the streets. This is going to be probably a hot topic for the near future. Why do you say is Venezuela important? Well, a couple reasons. One, they have a whole lot of oil. Lots and lots of oil. In fact, they are one of the largest oil producing countries in the world. The second reason is they're not too far away from the American border. Just a hop, skip, and a jump, really. Just the other side of the Caribbean. And last but not least, the Panama Canal. We have the United States, Russia, and China all jockeying for position with the Panama Canal. Are expecting things possibly to break open in the near future, and everybody's trying to get a hold of that and to get control of that Panama Canal. Major transport, waterway transport, really for the world and for all that oil in Venezuela. Also, Venezuela is largely in debt to both Russia and China, and their interests there, they are pretty interested in protecting. Away from Venezuela, we have Israel in a lot of turmoil as of late. Benjamin Netanyahu's been indicted on some fraud charges, so their government situation is really up in turmoil at the moment. We have problems with Israel and Syria. Syria is threatening to retake the Golan Heights, which has been occupied by Israel for many, many years since the last time they were at war. And Israel is not about to hand over the Golan Heights back to Syria under any circumstances. Now that becomes a little bit tricky because, as we know, Syria is deeply embedded with Iran and also Russia. Both countries are inside Syria, helping Assad, the dictator there, keep control of his government in Syria. So the chances of something erupting there, really, really big. That is definitely a spot to be watching for. Not to mention, that's obviously a biblical place of Armageddon and all sorts of traditional all throughout history, wars upon wars upon wars upon wars in that area. You're looking at the major players obviously being Syria, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Iran, possibly Iraq, Libya, Jordan, Russia, Turkey. The list goes on and on as to what can happen there. That can easily escalate into a global situation. Over in Pakistan and India, there's a whole lot going on there. Pakistan says that India flew a couple of planes over into Pakistani airspace They say they shot those planes down. Then they proceeded to do some bombing inside the border of India. Now we have troops on the ground shooting at each other in the Kashmir. That is a scary situation. Both those countries have nuclear weapons, and I wouldn't put past either one of them to use them on each other. The Pakistanis and the Indians absolutely hate each other. They hate each other. That's a very long hatred that's between the two. It goes back to after World War I, when Britain split up India. The Muslims and the Hindis separated the two. There was East Pakistan, West Pakistan. East Pakistan became Bangladesh. West Pakistan just stayed Pakistan. And there's been at least 4 wars between the two in the last 80 years. And they're not afraid to have another one at any given time. So things can get really hot there too. Over in the Far East, we have Taiwan, which is always a trouble spot. Obviously, China considers Taiwan to be a part of its homeland. Taiwan, they have no real interest in socialism, communism, China, or the like. They are associated with the United States. They are our allies. And at any given time, trouble can really start happening there. That would draw the United States into a major situation. The South China Sea is a very hot spot. We keep sending our planes and our ships down into there. China doesn't like that. They're calling that their sovereign waters. They're creating islands, building islands out of nothing. Just building islands in the South China Sea, and then claiming them as their sovereign territory, which is also in the territories of the Philippines, Vietnam, and a couple other countries. So those countries are protesting. There's a lot of action going on there. Last but not least, Russia. A lot of trouble with Russia as of late. Obviously, the deep state is pushing to have a war. They are in the Ukraine, pushing war between Ukraine and Russia. Russia's right at the border. They are sending more tanks, more troops, more everything to the border. They've annexed the Crimea. They are, that was part of Ukraine. They have annexed that. So there is a whole lot of trouble there. That is a major source of problems over in Asia, and that is something that really needs to be watched. So we have war and rumors of war all over the globe at the moment, and there's even more, more local conflicts going on elsewhere. But the chances of something igniting in the near future, possibly this year, are really good. So we want to be stepping up our efforts and preparing and getting ready for worst case scenarios. We have threats of EMPs. Russia's threatening EMPs onto our country. Obviously, talks between North Korea and Trump kind of fell through here last month. So we have updated tensions there. That's going to be another spot that needs to be watched real careful. Down in New Zealand, we just had the mosque attacks. That's a whole nother story. That has a lot of earmarks of some deep state interference going on there, possibly using New Zealand as a fighting ground to advance efforts here in the States for gun control and for some other things. But we'll get into that later. Like I said, please take a minute to just like and subscribe to the page. I'd love to make some more videos, get some more information out there. This is the Upstate Prepper, and we'll see you soon. Out.